How do you win a war that you absolutely, positively cannot win? So today we're going to dive into this amazing fictional strategy for pulling off a total victory, not with weapons, but with a kind of weaponized diplomacy. Let's break it down.
Wow, okay, that line right there, it just perfectly captures this fatal moment of pride, you know? It's the ultimate Trojan horse scenario, but the weapon, it's not hiding inside some big wooden statue. Nope, it's right there in plain sight, disguised as weakness and submission.
To really get how brilliant this whole strategy is, you first have to understand just how hopeless humanity's situation was. I mean, we weren't just the underdogs. We were basically a rounding error when faced with the power of the Vorath Empire.
Just look at this. It really hammers home how mismatched this fight was. On one side, you've got the Vorath Empire with their universe-conquering tech and brute force, and on the other, humanity. Our best weapons were like, as the story puts it, throwing pebbles at a mountain. The fight honestly seemed over before it even started. And this is where we find their biggest weakness, their critical flaw. Think about it. These guys are towering reptilian monsters, bred for one thing and one thing only: war. Their entire culture, their very biology, had no concept of art or beauty. To them, physical contact only ever meant one of two things: pain or dominance. This extreme focus left them with a massive blind spot.
So, what do you do when your enemy is basically immune to every weapon you have? You come up with a weapon they can't even comprehend. Humanity knew they couldn't win on the battlefield, so they just changed the game. They moved the fight to a place the Vorath didn't even know existed, inside their own minds.
And this was humanity's secret weapon, the Siren Vanguard. Yeah, check out the definition here. This wasn't a team of commandos. We're talking diplomats, artists, psychologists, all rolled into one elite team. Their whole mission wasn't to fight, but to completely rewire the enemy's idea of what power even is.
Okay, so their plan? It wasn't random. It was this super carefully crafted psychological op, a 4-step process, really, designed to just take the Vorath apart from the inside. First, you disarm them with your appearance. Second, you subvert their expectations of dominance. Third, you initiate a totally new kind of physical contact. And finally, you completely reframe the narrative, turning them from conquerors into protectors. Let's see how they pulled it off.
All right, now we're getting to the good part. We are on the bridge of the main Vorath warship. This is it. This is where all that theory becomes, well, terrifying and beautiful practice. The blast doors hiss open, and the real war for Earth's survival is about to begin. I mean, you can just hear the arrogance dripping from that question, can't you? General Krax, this guy has crushed entire star systems. He's standing there totally expecting to see these humans just trembling, begging for their lives. But see, Ambassador Elena, she doesn't play the part he's written for her. No fear. Instead, she just projects this impossible confidence. In a room literally designed to create terror, she looks completely, utterly at home. That's step 2, subvert expectations, and it's absolutely flawless.
And boom, there it is. With just 2 words, she pulls off this incredible act of psychological jujitsu. She takes all of his overwhelming power and just redirects it. She's not surrendering. She's suggesting they team up. She's changing his whole role from a conqueror to a potential partner.
Now, this is what's so cool about this whole thing. It wasn't just about clever words. There's some real science behind why this worked so unbelievably well. It went after a weak spot, not in their ships, but in their actual biology. And this right here, this single move, is the kill shot. See, for a Vorath, physical touch means one of 2 things. You're either hurting someone or you're showing you're the boss. The idea of a gentle, appreciative touch isn't just weird to them. It's like a piece of data his brain has no file for. It's a biological syntax error.
So, let's really get into it. How can a tiny gesture like that just completely break a warlord who flattens entire planets for fun? Well, it all comes down to complete and total sensory overload. First, you've got this totally new thing, the gentle touch. Then there's the complete lack of aggression. And get this, there's even a smell factor, this perfume of jasmine and vanilla. His brain, which for thousands of years has only been wired to deal with threats, is suddenly getting flooded with all this nice stuff it just can't process. It's a short circuit. This chart just lays it out so perfectly.
Look at the Vorath experience with physical contact. It's 100% pain and dominance. That's it. Their entire evolutionary history gave them zero defense against gentleness or appreciation. They built walls of dark matter armor but left their minds completely undefended.
And the effect? It was instant. It was total. The commander's brain basically blue-screened, and that feeling just cascaded right down the chain of command, stopping the whole invasion without a single shot fired. This was the beautiful surrender. So while the commander is having this total system meltdown, the rest of the Siren Vanguard is working on his elite guards. And not with weapons, right, but with things like brilliant smiles and soft laughs. These warriors, bred for nothing but combat, are just captivated. They're disarmed by something they find mesmerizing, not menacing. And here it is, the checkmate. Alina doesn't just stop Cracks. She gives him a whole new reason to exist. She rewires his entire identity from planet-destroying conqueror to honorable protector. It's a pitch to his ego that's way more appealing than ruling over a pile of ashes.
So yeah, the invasion just ended. Humanity was safe. And the key thing here is the Vorath Armada wasn't blown up or defeated in some epic battle. It was, well, it was tamed. It was absorbed, not destroyed, by a kind of power they literally couldn't imagine. And that leaves us with this really fascinating final thought, right? In a universe that seems to run on brute force, maybe the ultimate power isn't about destroying things at all. Maybe it's about understanding, subverting, and ultimately seducing.